Greetings, Fandom Vault. This is the big one. This is the video I've been wanting to do for the last week. I know it's a little early in the morning, but I figured why not. I'd like you to see all the Transformers I have. I've been collecting these over the last several years at least. We got stuff from the movie. We got stuff from the Transformers Prime series. We got some diecast. We got some diecast that's I don't even think they make anymore. We got one of the newer figures that have come out last year before. There's some of the movie. This is from the Netflix series. So is that one. These are plastic die casts. There's some from the Fall of Cybertron, a concept one, a pop figure, which I'm sure if you've seen my shorts, it's been there before. This one here is from Transformers Animated, and this one here is also from the movie. I'll go into more detail when I explain it. And it's, of course, the Kings of Castle. Two very, very crossover figures that you don't really see very often, and they're very hard to find. I'll explain though that they are in a minute. I'll start off with Barricade. Now over here we got Barricade. I'm going to keep them all in their robot or in their transformed forms, but that's Barricade. And this is next to his plastic diecast toy. They're both in the Michael Bay movie. You can see there, you got the Decepticon logo and the police badge. You have it duplicated here. Same thing. They just simplified it for the car. Both of them say to punish and enslave. It's not very clear here, but it's there. It's the same car, same model, just one bigger, one smaller. This one here is Knockout from Transformers Prime, but this version is actually from the Beast Hunter season. I think I'm missing a piece, because that's what hole there is on the top for. But nonetheless, it looks really cool. I like the fact that there's jaws on the front, which are just very, very unique. You know, he's a pretty formidable character in the show. And I love the fact that you don't see a Decepticon car all too often, especially in the cartoon. Next to him, we have Soundwave. This is the actual 1980 Soundwave, but this is a redo for the Netflix show. And what's really cool about him is if you take a look, obviously he's pretty well detailed. It's kind of hard to tell, but he looks really like the tape deck. They just beefed him up a little bit, but he's got another little feature on him. Open it here. There we go. He's got Laserbeak. Now, Laserbeak is only in his tape form, and he does come out separately. I'm not going to take him out now. But, yeah, you can sort of tell if you know what Laserbeak looks like. The colors are exactly the same. He is a cassette tape, and he does come out, and it looks really, really cool. On the back, he has both his weapons, but I like him in this form anyway. Very small, very compact. Again, gotta love the Decepticon. This is one of many Optimus Primes. This is the Peterbilt truck from the first Michael Bay movie. I love the color scheme. I love the yellow at the front, and I love how the flames just bleed into the back. It looks really, really neat. You know, gotta hand it to Michael Bay. The movies may not have been the most best thing in the world, but he certainly knew how to do an Optimus Prime character justice. And over here, this is I mentioned in one of my shorts. This is actually the plastic minifig diecast of it. And I say minifig because I forgot to show you on the Barricade one. When you flip it upright, is a bot form. I'll bring it back over here. That's better. His bot form has the Autobot logo, has his name in the same font as the movie. Very simplified detail, but it's there all the same. It looks really neat. And I don't remember what the series was that was called that came out on, but oh, I loved getting that one. And I'll show you with Barricade, because he has the same thing. There you go. Decepticon logo in purple. It's black and white. Looks really, really good. This is what he would look like if that figure transforms. Same thing. These are only two I have in this set. I wouldn't mind getting more, but that, as they say, is those. And these I got recently. This one from a diecast show and this one from my work. These are the Jada diecast Optimus Prime. One from, I believe that's The Last Night. So he's in a nice truck form, Looks really, really sharp. Got the blue, looks really good. It contrasts off the red really nicely. And I love how the flames just bleed in. And on the bottom, you can't really read it here very clearly, but it has the same thing the mini one does, where you can see his bot form underneath it. And this one here, I got at a diecast show about a year ago, year and a half ago, somewhere in that neighborhood. This is the G1 version of Transformers. This is the Optimus Prime. Anyone who knows the 80s cartoon should recognize the packaging right away. It's all made of die-cast metal. It's all really, like, top to tails. It's really neat. They have a lot of other cars in this sort of set. There's the old 1980s version of the box. It looks right off the toy. You know, they did a really, really good job with it. This one here is a mini Optimus Prime. He comes with a base and he comes with a blaster. They had others from this set, but this is the only one that I ever managed to get my hands on. I love that it's very well detailed. I love the Autobot logo as the base, and I love the fact that it's on the shoulder in the right spot, and the colors are matching. Like for the size and scale, they really got the details really, really, really nice. This one here is from one they recently brought out. This one doesn't transform like the one below it. It doesn't have the bot mode. But if you can see inside his cage, it's actually removable, but it's the Autobot Matrix of Leadership. He does have other components. He has his energy axe. He has a few other spare hands. They have others from the set in Autobots and Decepticons. But this one looks really, really cool. Of course, I can't resist an Optimus Prime figure. Now, this one here is from the fall of Cybertron. Again, bot mode. He's very Cybertronian truck. Looks really, really, really neat. It's fall or it's war. War for Cybertron, excuse me. Just in case anyone in the comments decides to correct it. It is War for Cybertron. Either way, it's just yet another good one on the set. I can't fault anyone who loves a good Optimus Prime figure. This one here is from the Netflix series. Same as the Soundwave. Same thing. He's the 1980s car. I decided to put the blaster on the back just to store it somewhere, but it looks really nice. They literally scored the scale. So to get the bigger one would be really neat, but it's built the same way. As you can see on the side, he's got his Autobot logo, and he looks really, really neat. For a scale that size to be that well detailed is quite impressive. Now this one here is really neat. This is a Cybertronian version of Prime, but I believe this was a concept one, or from like a subset. I never did see much on this when it came out, but I mean, I like the rounded edges on the top near the tires. I love how the blue and red blend together. I love, this is my favorite feature, you see the Autobot logo is underneath the plastic windshield. You don't see that with Transformer figures, let alone an Optimus Prime like this. So that's also really, really neat. And as you've seen in some of the short videos, this is the pop figure of Optimus. And I'll bring it over here. Let's say it's very well detailed. It looks like it just came right out of the advertising. They got all the details from the 1980s figure very well detailed. Gotta hand it to Funko. They know what they're doing. But I mean, I jumped for joy when this came out. Now this one here, this one's a Michael Bay one too. This was a pre-release figure before that movie one came out. It was out maybe a month before the movie was released. And this is actually his proto form. In the movie, you see them falling like asteroids. Well, this is what essentially they look like. The series came out with Megatron, Bumblebee, and I believe Prime. I don't think there was any more, but once again, to see an Optimus Prime in this protoform state is really, really neat. I wish they had done more on the Cybertron scenes in the movie. I would have liked to have seen more of this guy in action. And this one, I got this at a diecast show. This is the one from Transformers Animated. This is, again, his Cybertronian truck. This one's really cool because the weapons, on the top here is a shield, which makes one gigantic window. And if you flip it over, that there is his axe. And if you look where the axe is connected, That's his hands. So he's the only Transformers Optimus figure I've ever seen where his weapons, you don't have to detach them in order for him to transform. They're in place where he poses with them, and they look, like I said, they look really, really neat. But it's a very cool Optimus Prime. I like the way it looks once it's finally in his bot mode, excuse me. And yeah, it's actually quite nice. Now these two, these are a whole other matter entirely. As you can tell, these were the collaboration between Ghostbusters and Transformers. This is Ectotron. It's pretty obvious what he is. He's a Ghostbuster Transformer. The comic book Ghost of Cybertron is where he debuted. A shout out to Ghostbusters News, because it was the first place I ever saw this character. And as you can see, now I own him. Super, super cool. I have never opened it. I don't plan on ever opening it. But you can see there's Slimer. The Ecto one is right out of the movie. And if you look on the top of the roof rack, that's his proton pack. And the blue hose there is the sewer drain pipe hose that's used to connect to the Neutrino wand. So it looks really, really cool. Now on top of him is Gigawatt from Transformers and Back to the Future. These are anniversary figures. Again, not exactly easy to get to find, but very, very impressive. Actually, these are probably two of my favorite Transformers figures I've ever seen. And I hear there are more out there. But, oh yeah. Ever get the chance to get these, I strongly recommend these. If you're a fan of Transformers at all. These are some of this is my whole collection. You know, I'm very, very proud of these ones. And like I said, I'm ever looking to get Optimus Primes, my best advice is start with Optimus. Optimus is one of the best characters in the whole series for my money. I'd love on getting more Decepticons. But yeah, as you can tell, I'm an Optimus Prime fanboy. Anyway, this is Fandom Vault. Autobots roll out.